You know how sometimes we have a ton of work to do, but we just want to take out a few minutes to play? Well, that's what I'm going to do today. My name is Bobby, and I really appreciate you being here with me. We are going to make a quote-unquote water fountain out of this vintage ash bucket, or you might call it a coal hod, I think. I found this in an antique store, and I was just kind of looking for something that matched my decor here. I'm very rustic. It's a farm setting. This was $10. So I thought, okay, I can make a little solar fountain out of this ash bucket, and it's obviously been painted. Someone painted it, I think, and I've used these many times whenever we have burned wood and had wood stoves and fireplaces and things like that. So I already tested it out to make sure it doesn't leak, and it doesn't leak. And of course I have 3 or 4 of these handy dandy solar, and it's wanting to do its thing as soon as I turn it over. But these are little solar fountains that you can get on Amazon. I'll link below the specific ones I use, but I'm going to turn it over so it's not trying to do its thing. But they last about a year, but if you take care of them, I've found they'll last even longer. And when I say take care of them, meaning just keep them clean, take the little nozzle off, and whoop, this one's really on here, and clean the inside of the nozzle, or whichever nozzle you use, and just make sure all the debris is off. They usually come with extra filters, so you can take this apart and you can put another filter in. So they'll last longer than a year if you protect them. And I won't leave this out during the winter. Obviously, you know, when they're freezing weather, this will not be out. But we still have a while left. It's nearing the end of October, and we won't have freezing weather, and real freezing weather, until another month or so. So I'm just looking forward to making a little impromptu, if you will, fountain. But first I have a couple of mums that I need to plant in this planter that's going to be right near the fountain, because knowing me, I will get dirt in the fountain. So then it's going to be a very simple video, no big deal. But I just love fountains. I don't know, something about water, and we have a beautiful river here on the farm. And just love to go down and sit on the bridge or stand on the bridge and just listen to the water. So something about water. I think we all love it, don't we? Really should be sanding my porch. I think we've found a solution to the peeling solid color stain. So I think we found a solution. We're going to do all the work ourselves, and I should be sanding, but I'm playing. So I just bought a couple more little mums at Lowe's. I have several, but I loved this color. It's just so sweet. It's sort of a orangey, yellowish, and I thought it was so sweet, and I thought it would be a nice little pop of color. I had some alyssum in this barrel over from the spring into the summer, and now there's just some wire vine left, which will winter over for me here in my zone 6B/7. And there's fountain grass, purple fountain grass, which will not winter over for me. It's an annual for me here. And then this rosemary. I just like to keep rosemary and different herbs in different containers because I just like to smell them. Oh, I just love the smell of rosemary. Love it so much. So I thought I would just add a couple of these little mums. Everything is kind of root bound in here, so I'm hoping I can get a couple of holes just big enough to put these mums in. And this wire vine is just like wanting to grow everywhere, but that's what wire vine is supposed to do. You know, when you're planting something and it has the longer root system, or the longer, because it's a longer container, you can always break off around the bottom if you need to, which I think I'm going to need to a little bit. It won't hurt the plant. You can just break it off like that if you need to make it a little shorter. So that won't hurt the plant at all. And just put that in here. I'm going to tilt them forward just a little bit. I guess I should have my gloves on, but I don't. I just put a little bit of extra potting soil around them just to let the roots be all tucked in there. They won't be in here for very long, because pretty soon we're going to be doing our barrels for Christmas decorations, right? We're going to be putting fresh greenery in here. Purple Majesty millet, and I love to grow this every year just for a decoration, and then I cut some off and dry them to use them in the house in different fall arrangements and stuff. A lot of the grain heads are just done there, but there's still a few pretty ones. But then I usually fill it in with some little mini pumpkins and stuff. So I enjoy growing that. It's very easy to grow. I just sow the seeds directly in here. You can pre-start your Purple Majesty millet, but I just sow the seeds directly in this little resin barrel, and it works out great. I'm definitely going to need to take some off the bottom of this plant because I don't have enough room here. I can't get a good enough planting hole. And again, I'm tilting it forward a bit just so I can have the look of it sort of not straight up, but out front a little bit. So I had these two little mini pumpkins in here. I think I'll just put them right back, sort of. One there, one there. I might steal one from one of my other pots or just leave it like this, but I think that looks pretty. I like that little added color. What I do with these annual mums is once the blooms start dying back and I want to keep them going for a while longer, if you cut off the spent blooms and you deadhead your annual mums, a lot of times you'll get another flush of blooms or there's more blooms already coming. So you can just make sure you deadhead them. You'll keep your annual mums going just a little bit longer. All right, I think we're going to put this coal hod or this ash bucket right here because over here I have a black watering can. I just got this from Walmart a couple of years ago and I have it on a shepherd's hook. I do have this fabulous watering can. Let me show you. Hang on, I want to show you what my friend gave me. It's such a blessing to have this. Look at this cool watering can. Isn't this the coolest thing? My friend gave me this. She had two and she gave me one and it's one of her like prized possessions and she gave me one and there aren't really, you know, any of these on the market or anything like that. This was designed by Bunny Mellon, and that's the Oak Spring Foundation. If you're not familiar with the Oak Spring Foundation and Bunny Mellon, you need to look her up. And my friend was gifted with two of these from Bunny Mellon. So anyway, she shared one with me. Isn't that so cool? So I have it sitting on my porch. I just love it. I love it so much. Anything that looks like this, I mean, it's right up my alley. So my friend was really, really kind to share this with me. So anyway, let's put this ash bucket right here. Now I know I'm going to have the leaves from, there's a dogwood tree there and a dogwood tree here, and I know I'm going to have a lot of leaves to deal with. That's okay. I'm just out here daily, of course, you know, a million times every day. So I will just take the leaves out because the leaves will really clog up your little solar fountain. So I'm going to put this where I know it's going to be level. I can't stand things that are not level. Let's go ahead real quickly and we'll fill it up. I brought my hose link over. So I'll fast forward through this a little bit, make it a little bit quicker, but I am going to put a little bit of hydrogen peroxide just to help keep the water clean. I'll go ahead and put a little bit of this hydrogen peroxide in now, let it mix in. Okay, so I've left about an inch or inch and a half at the top, and so we'll see how that works. So let me water these mums while we're right here. I just watered the rest of this barrel earlier, so we'll just water in these mums. When you order these, you get a bunch of different nozzles, and sometimes the nozzles will just cause too much overspray. It will spray out of whatever you have it in, whatever container or whatever, bird bath or whatever. And so you don't want it to, the vessel to empty out too quickly because it will definitely ruin your little solar fountain. So let's see, I have this one, I had this in another little vessel in my garden, little container, but let's see if this nozzle, this one just barely shoots up. Let's see how this one works. I'll overlay some footage here of it actually doing its thing. So if I stand in front of it, see it blocks the sun and it stops the fountain. The nozzle I have in here is just not doing anything for me, so I'm going to try another nozzle. Let's see. Let's maybe try this one. This one has the little spray. I've never used these before. It's very, very simple. And the models that I like to use have the little stabilizer arm. I like the stabilizer arms, especially if I'm putting them in my bird bath because it keeps it right in the center. You just basically push your nozzle on there. All right, let's see what this one does. Nope, I'm still standing. There we go. Every time I step in front of it, it shades it as it quits working. So I'm not sure how much overspray this is going to be spraying out of this. The amount of overspray that this is spraying outside of the bucket is too much. If I'm gone all day, I don't want all the water to come out of the bucket or whatever I have it in, and then the little fountain is just straining, trying to do its thing. So this is not the right nozzle. I mean, I love it, but it's just not the right nozzle. I think you'd have to have a really big vessel for this to work well, which I have some, and I don't know, I've got these little fountains everywhere. So this is so cute like this, but I know it's too much overspray. It's just going to deplete my water. So let's try something else, but I'm loving this. That's so cute. All right, we're going to try one of these little flat nozzles here. And with the little flat nozzles, you have to have this little spacer, the original one that I had on. You have to have that in order to put the little flat nozzle on. So it just pops right on the top, very easy. Okay, let's try this one. Sometimes it takes a minute or two. So this one is also kind of splashing outside of the bucket. I don't want that. I love it, but that's just not going to work. It's too much splashing out. We might have to end up using just the spacer like I do on all of my bird baths. So we'll see. Let me put that on there and just give that another try. I'll step away from it. So that kind of gives the fountain effect. You know, I think that's what we're going to have to go with. Let me try one more of the little round things that go on the top of the spacer. This one, the holes are configured a little bit differently. And let's see if that does any different. I told you we're just playing. We should be working, we're playing. Okay, let's see what that one will do. Hello, wake up. Oh, that's interesting. A little bit of oversplash. Ah, well, see, the more solar it picks up, the more aggressive it becomes. I'm wondering if I put on a couple of the stabilizer legs, would it keep it more in the center? Let me try that. All right, here are the stabilizer little legs, and you can adjust them, pull them out, make them longer. There's foam on the back of these fountains, and there's little slits in there, and they just go in the little slits. Oh, that keeps it in the center. Cool. Sort of. Nah. It's not wanting to keep it in the center. Crazy. So after retesting a couple more of the little fountainhead configurations, I decided to go with this one, and I'm going to keep my eye on it, but I did put 2 of the stabilizer legs, and that's kind of keeping the fountain in the center. And another thing I forgot to say, that initially when you start your fountain up, or when you put it out, you want to shake it from side to side, and that sort of gets everything prepared to work in the fountain. So when you shake it and then you have the solar energy built up there, then your fountain will work. Another thing you need to be aware of is the little nozzles themselves. The little spray nozzles can get all gunked up with algae and different things like that. So if your fountain stops working, that would be most likely the reason. That happened in one of my bird baths, and it had stopped working, and I took the little nozzle up and it was all kind of just gunked up with algae. So I cleaned that out, and it just worked perfectly after that. So for now, I think after all of the nozzles you and I tried together on camera, I think this is the one that's going to work, and it seems to be the most gentle. I had to come up here in the semi-shade for a bit. Even though it's late October, it's warm. It's going to be really warm this coming week. Anyway, I have another fountain. I have an electric fountain, one that you plug in, and it's very rustic as well. It's just watering cans that go into a big tub like aluminum or metal or something, but it's really rusted out. So I need to take some steel wool and just try to clean that rust out. But I didn't use that at all this year, and one of the reasons why is because it's really kind of loud. So I am saving up my money. I have several fountains that I've seen, and I do want to get one that you plug in. They're quite pricey, and I have a little trouble, even though you know, it's money that I will save. I won't take that out of our other monies, but it's money that I will save. And I just have a little bit of a problem spending that much money on something like a fountain. Now I think we're done playing, so I need to get to my real chores. I've got a lot of fall cleanup to do, as I'm sure you do. And also I have a lot of flowers that I need to dry. I need to harvest and dry. We got our first frost, very, very light frost this morning, so that means it's coming on. I hope your gardens are doing well or have done well for you, that you've enjoyed them this year. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you've got going on for the fall and the autumn time. So until next time, friends, thanks for being here during my playtime. We'll see you later. Happy gardening. Bye-bye.